Good, happy Saturday. Welcome back to the stream. Let me see, put my finger on the right side of there. I hope everyone's had a great week. It's good to be back with you with another YouTube creator news slash creator breakfast slash, hey, it's a bit of a longer show today. That's what we're doing. I'm running solo. Chantel is out running at a camp, at a creator camp. I don't know what you call it. with her brand. Nick and Dee are, I believe, at a conference somewhere in Thailand. So yeah, I'm holding down the fort this morning for your Saturday creator streams. There is a stream a little later today, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. But first, let's jump in. Let's make sure we turn on some of the things up here that are going on. Make sure everything goes on. Make sure the background music's on. A little bit of trap right now. There we go. Yeah, so I hope everyone's had a great week. People are filing in, so we're going to be jumping in saying hi to all of them in just a second. Just making sure I've highlighted people as they come in, so they're in my little queue here. It's looking good so far. So let's start rattling through. I've just sort of tidied up the frame a little bit here, which you'll notice as soon as we start rattling through these. Okay, first in, just before we went live, our Thrive Hive, aka Old Country. How's it going? Coming to us from Tennessee. Here we go. I can just click through these now. Look at the front. David says all natural gym as well in the house. We've got Kevin Hawthorne, as always, from Lakeland, Florida. A lot of people from that part of the world over that side of on the East Coast. I can't speak. Live streaming consultants is here as well. We've also got Larry, Home Rapid Repair. Yes. 1 hour late. That's the correct one. I don't know how I got the incorrect one because it disappeared off my list, but it was still there. It was hiding in the queue. Anfield Road, Loughton, the Lofted Lee. How are you? Welcome. Keep going. I need to press the button. Park Rose is here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever it might be. Eileen Smith is in the house, saying hello to all the beautiful people here. How many more have I got? This is the last one that I've got pre-checked. Creator Classroom is here. Hello, hello. Welcome. Where does that leave off? Let's see who else is coming in. Anything else in the chat that I need to highlight? Catherine is here. Welcome. Keep scrolling down. Make sure I've not missed anybody. Everyone's saying hi to each other in the chat right now, which is awesome to see. So I hope, yeah, as I say, I hope everyone's had a great week. We've got a little bit of YouTube news and announcements. Creator Insider actually made a video this week, which is always good. Gives me something to talk about along the way. So there's a few bits of information to go over. But as always, the whole entire show, especially today, is Q&A. So if you have a question for me, make sure you drop it in the chat and put a Q in front of it. It would be the best way for me to recognize it and find it and talk about it. And we'll go from there. We'll just see where the show takes us today. Apart from that, let's see. Still going here in the chat. Everyone's saying hi to everyone. Good to see. Good to see. Let's do the housekeeping first, because it's a little bit of a different Saturday today, as I mentioned at the top, in case you're just coming in. And we'll come back to this one later, so we'll just pull this out. Let's move that off there, because that always covers up my text. So today, there's no Niman Live today, so that's why I'm sort of an hour later and not constrained by time. I can just roll the flow. Coming up later today on the Opus Clip channel, Andrew Can and Roberto Blake are going to be going live, and that's not it. And that should not say 11 p.m. That should say 1 p.m. I didn't realize there was a typo on that until just now. That actually is 1 p.m. Eastern, so in about 4.5 hours, just under 4.5 hours from now. So 1 p.m., not 11 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern. So it's a bit noting of that. I don't think I can, because that's a graphic and not just text I can fix. I can't actually fix it right now unless, I take a break and open up Canva. And also Sunday, Chantel's show isn't going ahead because she's at her camp, as I mentioned at the top of the show. But of course, I'll be back in the regular time slot, not this time, the regular time slot next week. So that's what's coming up. We'll review that again later in the show for people who might come in a little bit later. The other thing is, what is the other thing? No, there is no other thing right now. Let's just get back out of here. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Monique's here. Welcome, Monique. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Anybody? Did I miss anything else? Whoop, that's not one. Beanie. The chat moved just as I clicked. Beanie Draw's in the house. Good to always see Beanie in the house. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome to have everyone today. So yeah, some of the topics might induce some discussion, but if you have any questions at any time, whether it's about some of the news stories we talk about, or if you got a YouTube question, you got a creator question, you want to ask me my opinion on something, whatever it might be, make sure you drop it in the chat with the Q in front. That's always the best way. And we always got to highlight when we use the custom emojis because they're really cool. The chat's a little bit smaller on screen today. I'm trying to streamline things to make it so big, but that might make it a little bit harder to read in the long run, maybe on the replay, I'm not sure. But you can also see them in the chat. Oh, and the gifts are working. It's good to see. It's good to see. And I will need a lot of reminders. You can see that it is full today. So I'm prepared. The downside is if I drink a lot of this, I might need to take a break. Well, that's very ethereal, isn't it? Wow. Let's pull that back a bit. All right. Nice. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know what everyone's gotten up to this week. Have you put out a video and put out a bunch of videos of your live stream? Do you just be dropping shorts to the post? So you've done nothing at all. Yeah, let me know what your creative week has looked like. Or creative week, creative week. They both work. Let me know. Oh, there's an XDM? Have a look. Oh. There we go. Oh. I did not see that earlier. Like that flag, it didn't have the DM like saying I've got an outstanding DM on my app for some reason. So apologies, I didn't see that. Oh. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. If I need something in the department, I'll drop you a link. But for now, let's see what's happening in the chat. People start to respond. I filmed an unplanned video this week. Yeah, sometimes the unplanned ones are the ones that do well. And that will wind up using October because I was on a video call with a friend, had an idea, couldn't let go of. Yeah, sometimes you just got to jump on the inspiration as it takes you. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Eileen had a Amazon influencer session yesterday, like do every Friday. Yeah. I remember. I don't know if you're telling me or if I was watching one of your videos where you're talking about it. Having those regular influencer group meetings. That's pretty cool. I think it was on one of your recent streams or one of your recent videos, one or two. Davidson All Natural Gym Creator Week, stuck on editing long form videos again. Just a few shorts this week. Yeah. The editing for me right now is the bottleneck. I've got Amazon videos sort of queued up for editing, and then if I start getting into those, and I'm like, well, I haven't made anything for this channel or for one of my other channels, and then I don't and I get busy at work, and then I don't end up making any videos. But I did get a video out this week, one I was working on last weekend, all about the experimental collab feature. I think we talked about it a little bit last week too. But I dropped the video on that. It slapped me in the face. Yeah, sometimes it does slap you in the face. It's like I got it. It's either time sensitive or you just like, I just can't get out of my head. I just got to make this video. Absolutely. What we'll do, we're going to jump into the YouTube news in just a second. So before we do, I'm going to take another sip of that water. Another sip of that water. All right. While we transfer over, let's play the little jingle.
Stay tuned for creator news.
Oh no, it's not a jingle. It's just a short announcement. All right. What we can do is get rid of that barcode in the top corner. Let's jump in. As we always do, we like to start with the Creator Insider News Flash, what they talk about this week, and then we go on from there, talk about those in a bit more detail, and then we like to talk about then all the other news that wasn't on Creator Insider, because there's usually something on the social medias, something notable in the publications, or just people tweeting or posting on Threads or Blue Sky or wherever they might post. All right, so on the Creator Insider Newsflash this week, there was 3 topics. The ability to edit videos with multiple audio tracks. Creator Classroom might be interested in that one, because I think that's the issue we were running into with the new Clips 2.0 feature. So they're rolling out the ability to now edit those videos if they have been auto-dubbed, which hopefully is good. So hopefully that equally applies to the edit page and the clips page. I'm hoping. Don't have more details on that yet, but as they come to hand, we'll talk about it. The image limit on YouTube posts has gone from 5 images to 10 images, so you can sort of get going on your image carousels. I noticed that vidIQ put one out in the last 24 hours that was 10, and it was like you could scroll through it sequentially. They were like graphic images, and you could follow the story over 10 images. I thought that was pretty cool. And probably something that's probably not going to be interesting for just about anybody here, maybe one or two. The YouTube promote feature, they've added some improvements to call to actions. I think I'm going to talk about a couple of these as we go through. This is the recap per Matt Navarro, of course. So he mentions that YouTube has doubled the image limit, as we said, from 5 to 10, giving creators more visual storytelling space, which I didn't think about before. Usually I just drop maybe a single image or 2 images, but yeah, I can see how 10 would be helpful if you're using the images to tell a story. Audio dub videos can now be reprocessed after edits, keeping translations accurate, and with manual caption editing coming later, which means that if you manually upload a multiple language audio, like a foreign language or whatever, if you're not doing it through the auto dub feature, but if you're adding it manually, like some creators have that access, not many do. Right now, you still won't be able to edit those, but that's coming. I think we're going to talk about that more. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more in a second. And of course, the promote campaigns getting new CTA buttons like Book Now and Get Quote for website visit goals. We can probably do some examples on some of this stuff as we go if we need to. And there was a guy on X this week, Doug Hewson YT, who sort of recapped Creator Insider as well. So we're going to use this as additional talking points. Here we go. First up, you'll soon be able to edit auto dub videos in Studio Editor. This is a huge time saver for creators working with multiple languages. So yeah, so before you couldn't do any trims or changes. In addition, if you're in the clips section where you can also edit down to make a new video, that was limited because of this same issue. So hopefully both now are working. I haven't tested it yet. I'm wondering if we should test that live. Let me know in the chat if you want to do some live demos and live testing today. So we've got a longer show. We can come back to that one in a second. You can now add up to 10 images in your community posts. This doubles the creative potential for engaging with your audience. We've talked about that a couple of times already. YouTube Promote gets an upgrade. Website visit campaigns now have more specific CTAs, like Book Now or Get Quote, to help drive better results. Yeah, we can do examples. I want to do examples. Both these examples are going to take place in studio, believe it or not. So I'm going to jump into studio just a second. Let's go back and look at the first one, which is the clipping. Let's see if that's rolled out yet, shall we? So let's go to screen share. Screen share, yes, screen share is working. All right. First, we've got to go to content. We've got to find a video that has maybe this one here. Make sure we've got multi-language audio. Yeah, we've got multi-language audio. Okay. The editor, is it going to let us go in and trim? Looks like it's working. I'm not sure at what point the error message used to pop up. I'm assuming if you started to use any of the features there. That seems to be good. I want to try the one I'm more interested in. Oh, I went all the way out. Let's go back in. Is the clips. Create a video clip. Yeah. I don't think it would let you in before. It would say, no, sorry. So yeah, so we can now clip videos that have already been auto dubbed, and that's a good thing. When we're like making like shorter content out of maybe long videos, maybe there's a podcast or a live stream, all those different things. Now, currently, live streams aren't getting auto dubbed after the fact, but at some point, that's going to have the ability to have that happen. So yeah, that seems to all be working. Yeah, I want to discard changes. So I'm happy about that. That's a win. And we're going to jump over. What was the other one? Let's jump back through. Let's jump back through them. Oh, the promote. Okay, if we go to the promote, let me do the demo here. If we want to get started, I should have really just picked. That's not what I want to look at. Let's actually do it from an actual piece of content, because I think that's it better. Let's just say we want to promote my current unlisted Spreadshop promo, because I can. We can go down to promote. Okay, account that wants to use it. It's the same thing anyway. Yeah. So these new CTAs are under website visits. If the goal of the thing is to drive someone to the website, which this particular video is, because it's driving to the merch store. So I could promote it if I wanted to, and I can do all the things in here. This is the call to action section. So I can go book now, contact us. So this is the thing that tells them what action they need to take on the website, because it could be to book something, or to make contact, or to do a download, or to get some sort of quote. For mine, it's probably going to be shop now, for example. So this is the call to actions they're talking about. They've added additional ones, which seem to be in there. The book now, get quote are some of the examples they're given. They're all in there. I don't know if many people have seen this part of the promotion tab, or even ever gone into it. It's just where you put some money on getting your video promoted on YouTube pages, basically. Usually on the homepage, it shows up as like a promoted video on the homepage, like that. That's like the little example there. And then I would probably give it a better name and whatnot to, if I was going to promote that particular thing. That's just like a placeholder, so I know what that video is, because I don't ever intend on that being a public video. It's just a unlisted promotional video. That's a trailer before my live stream. So yeah, that's the interesting one. So And I'm not showing anything. I just realized I've been sitting on this screen the whole time, not showing my screen. Let me show you that thing again. Anybody say that? No, but nobody. Did anybody call me out on that? But basically, here we're on the where we're saying this is the video we want to promote, and it's to promote it to a web. We're driving people to a website. I put my landing page URL up the top here, but then the call to actions. These are some of the new ones. Are book now, get quote, for example. But there's all these other ones. Some of these are new. Some of these were here already. So that's what that's talking about. I don't know if many people here are actually going to be using that. So, all right, I'm going to jump back in. Before we continue, I'm going to jump back into the chat. So let's jump out here where we can pull it up big on the screen. I want to scroll back and see what I've missed. Where did I last leave off? There are questions along the way, so we'll just work through them as I see them. And I just heard a tinkle in my ear. And because I scrolled up the queue, I can't see what's happened. Oh, Kelly Plains has dropped 5 gifted memberships. Good on you, Sal. It's good to see you too, by the way. Let me just go and click. There it is. And thank you for gifting the memberships. 5 gifted memberships from Kelly Plains. Kelly Plains is a channel that I check in with on a couple of times a week basis. Watching their live streams. Those went out to Paul Dixon, to Sage, to Steve Gonzalez, to Melinda, and to Karen McCourt. There we go. You guys have got a month of membership, access to the members only videos, access to the custom emojis in the chat, and a bunch of other things as well. Let me go back to where I was. There was a question. There's a couple of questions back in the feed that I need to attend to before we continue with the news. Where is that one from? I've lost it. Something hinky. Oh no, here it is. It's a different color because I clicked it before. Livestream Consultant says anyone on the collab feature. Nothing new since I put my video out. Just an experiment with a small group of creators. We know Mr. Beast and Mark Rober have it. We don't know how many more creators have access to it, but they're doing a test run with some creators. So if that goes well, you'll see that rolling out to more people over time, probably later this year, I'd expect. Some features are getting out real quick. Some features are sort of lingering, but I think this is one that they might really push once they've got a handle on it. Okay, just gonna skip through and see if I can see any questions, or new people coming in that I need to say hi to, like a Ghost Gamer Kiwi. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Living in Omaha, David Matney had a great channel review from Roberto last night. Yes, I was there. This is a fair question. Dave's is All Natural Gym. Why did you close your community? It was pretty quiet. It was like crickets, and I had a little concern, particularly after vidIQ did their video on when they started doing their communities. The interaction with their normal posts dropped, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably not good. But at the same time, I wasn't getting a lot of. I had a handful of people sort of do a couple of posts when I first launched it. They jumped in posts, but it was like nobody was posting on it anyway. Obviously, when I do my posts, they're going to appear regardless of whether I have my communities turned on or off. So I decided, well, for the time being, I'm just going to turn it off, and maybe I'll revisit it later. Maybe if they sort of add some more functionality to it or something where it might become a little bit more functional and meaningful. That's my thoughts on it right now. All right. And D Nimmons in the house. Good to see D in the house. D's doing things this weekend. Doing something. I don't know if you're at an event, I believe, maybe. I don't know. I just know you're not streaming. Who else is in here? Or have I missed any questions? Let me keep scrolling. And the official good morning from Cali Plains. Good to see you, Sal. In the listeners' lounge this morning. Yes. D. Dimon, Doug, your opening track rocks. Yeah, I got it from this site called Creator Mix, where all the background music is. So if you want to check it out, it's creatormix.com. There's probably a link in the description. Well, there is a link in the description. I think you'll dig it, D. Okay, scroll through. A lot of people saying hi to each other. Put that one up there. I just caught that one. The tinkle in the ear. Yeah, mods say that mods rock. Let's see. Indeed. Larry's using his Hewsonati Max 20 months in Hewsonati Max to say thanks to Sal. So that's good to see. And Ollie Smith saying welcome to all the new channel members. Yes, absolutely. Doug, how did you show the membership recipients online? D, I am using Social Stream Ninja, and it's just they show up and I can click on them. Including the good thing is like this one here, for example, Home Rapid Repair. It's it even shows the custom emojis on the channel on them as well. So it's like when you get set up, it's a beautiful thing. It's more functional for me than say what StreamYard does with comments. And StreamYard does some good things, you know, they highlight stuff, but Social Stream Ninja really done a thorough job. So you can be streaming with Meld, you can be streaming with Ecamm, you can be streaming with OBS, and you can use Social Stream Ninja. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, I need. Okay, Nick went to the event. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I wasn't sure if it was like up where you guys are, or if it was down in Bangkok or somewhere. Amazing yacht destinations in the house. Gee, someone's going to town on those anime gifs today. Look at that. Okay, pop up a lot of mod ones. Blood mods, created mix. Ollie Smith is dropping them. Nice. Marcus Hosky's here as well. Yeah, anybody can drop with using the commands. There's a link in the description to all the chat commands for people who want to just drop them emojis randomly right here next to me at any point in the show. And you know what? I didn't update the mystery GIF. It's not in my workflow yet. It's like I set it up last week and I totally forgot. So the mystery GIF is the same as last week. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to town, face palms and everything. Yeah, Davidson's an all-natural gym. Yeah. I do hope that they improve the functionality on that to make it really, really good. Right now, it's sort of just okay. It's like, it's useful. iCast Enterprises is here. It's good to see you. Okay, yeah, jump to the other channel, of course. Of course. All right. Larry, I need help on leaderboard. That's probably bumped you up. Like, I'll have to click on it to see how you will be at the top of the list, probably. Yeah. That's rocketed you to the top of the list. Crazy. You have helped yourself on that one. All right, XP. Yeah, definitely. That's like over 500 points now. I don't know what you had before you posted that. Probably would have had like 50 or 75 or something like that. The way that hands it out. Like I've got a script for a video on that, how that leaderboard works, and just sort of collating the anecdotal evidence from people who've sort of like looked into it and in stuff that I've looked into. So I don't know if that's going to be an interesting video or not. It's sort of on my list. I've already got a script sort of penned out. Well, I don't pen it because I don't write anymore. Everything's on notes and Gemini and ChatGPT. It helps me write things. Gets it done a little bit quicker, and I can put my polish on it. Okay, anything else here? I'm getting caught up. Yeah, it's rocketing to the top. It's gonna take a little while for people to catch up. Okay, Old Country has lost about this year leaderboard. Yeah, you probably the best thing to do is go watch my video on it a month or two back, a couple of months back. I can't remember. It's about a couple of months, I think. And that sort of rolled out to everybody. So yeah, I talk about it on that. Suffice to say, not everybody likes it, and then some channels it probably isn't something you really want on it if you're doing like a professional stream or something. It's great for gamers, I'm sure. Problematic when you're a mod. So on this channel that I'm on, if I participate in the chat, I'm not in leaderboard, because if I'm modding, I don't want to be like rocketing to the top of the list just because I'm doing my moderation comments. Yeah. Like folks are having fun. Well, they seem to be today, don't they? All right, let's jump back to the news. I don't know where I'm up to, but I'm going to try and parachute myself into where we were up to. I think the last screen we were on was this one. So we're going to move on from the Creator Insider topics for this week, and we're going to move on to the image stickers in Shorts is now there. Now it appeared, it disappeared on me about 3-4 weeks ago, and I was lamenting that it had disappeared, and I think I made some comments on Twitter, and that it's back. I can show you I've got it back myself right now. I have set up today to do show and tell off my phone, and obviously screen sharing already, so we're good to go on all those fronts. So we can do all sorts of different examples. Oh, it looks like Nick dropped a video 4 minutes ago. Nick Nemman dropped a video in lieu of his live stream, so make sure you go and watch that after this stream. Don't go watch it now, go watch it after my stream. All right. So yeah, so this is like when you're creating shorts in the shorts section. Yeah, it's demo day. It's demo day. We've got more time. Demo day. So here I am. I'm in YouTube already, so I click the plus at the bottom and go to shorts. And I do something. If I record something here, so I have to record something for a few seconds. I don't know why the shorts camera overexposes things, because I'm under a little bit of extra light. Anyway, and if I go to the next section, and then I can go to stickers. So it's under stickers, and then I can click here, image sticker, the first one there, and it will take me to my camera roll, and then I can just click on that. It makes that a sticker that I can put in there. I can actually change the shape of it by tapping it. So we can go square, that type of rectangle, that type of rectangle, circle, that oval, and back to the square. And then we can pinch. Okay, once we click done, we can move it, pinch zoom to make it really big. You can rotate it. So basically it's just a new sticker that you can add on if you're creating your shorts on there, or you can even add it if you do like if you pre-make your shorts and then upload it. You can upload it like way back here. Let me just discard that edit. So I'm back here. Say I've got a video to upload, which I do But this is one I uploaded. I've already uploaded this one. I can upload it there. And then I go to the next 3 minutes. Yes. Then I can come in and add additional stuff to that, like a Q&A, all the other ones that are on here from before. Sticker. So you got add jaws, poll, quiz across the bottom. Polls and quiz a little bit similar to when you do them on the posts, but it becomes a clickable thing on a short. You can tag products, of course. Do a Q&A, which basically means when they click on it, it's a shortcut way to get them to comment, because it's basically just a comment. They can ask a question and then it will appear in your comment section. You can come back and answer it, whether you answer it in text or answer it as a reply with another short. You can do all that as well. So that's the sort of things. But image that went missing, it sort of was announced, it appeared, went missing off my account for probably a month, and now it's back in the last week or so. So I'm happy about that, because I like to have all the features that are announced. All right, let's see if we can click back to the one we're up to. This one. Okay. Just need to get this out of this short now. I'm out. So there's that one. Next one. This is also shorts related. Creators in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand can now transform your favorite photos into dynamic shorts with photo to video. So we talked about this one a few weeks ago. This is part of the new shorts tool set that they were adding to do with generative AI. And now this one is actually in place. And I actually used it at the start of the short that I put out yesterday. I think it was yesterday, where I was just basically promoting this stream. Well, yeah, well, let's play and do this, and basically, it basically took a still picture of me and turned it into a video. So we could probably demo that as well. I think that's a good demo actually. But before we do, I see some questions. Michael Hosky says, "Where's Chantel?" Chantel's at a creator camp. Well, it's not a creator camp. It's to do with her other business, her Fiberific business. It's their annual camp. So she's camping and running like a conference, sort of whatever it is that they do. Probably just have a lot of fun and do craft, I'm assuming. All right. Park Bro says, "Do we have some official word from YouTube on the change from nicknames to handles? It appears to be happening again randomly." It's still sort of, switching around on some live streams at the moment. Not as many as when it first started appearing. No official word. Apart from when we talked to Renee Ritchie in one of Nick and Dee streams back then, he sort of hinted that it was something to do with being able to tag people on mobile. Whereas, you can tag, you can go at, and then it'll start typing the name, and it'll do a drop-down list, and you can pick them if you want to tag them on a stream on desktop. They're working on that same functionality for mobile, and I believe it has something to do with that. So we'll see what happens. There's nothing official other than that. That's like the closest thing to official we have. I did make a video on it, but there's nothing new that's really come out about that since then. All right. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Definitely promoting the thing. Cool. Now I'm trying to click things off. Let's go back and have a quick look at that particular shorts feature, because this is one of the generative AI things that they're doing. Where's my? There we go. So again, I've got to go in and start making a short. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the add button. This time I'm going to find a photo in my photo. Is it? Do I want to use this picture? No. Let's do something with Mark Rober. I have a janky picture of Mark Rober. Now, if I go up the top here and click photo to video, this is what happens. Now, you can't give it like a general prompt. You can't just make up a random prompt and tell it to animate it in a certain way. It's going to give you a list of suggestions, and you've got to go with one of those, which I think is a little bit sad. But I sort of understand why they might do that. So we can go balloons float, person jumps up, person makes a heart gesture, hair quickly changes to mullet. We can instantly give Mark Rober a mullet. Okay, confetti rains down. Person dances hip hop rhythmically. We want to see Mark Rober dance hip hop. Wow. Person puts on trendy sunglasses. That's the one I had. That's on my short. Dog enters. Person pets it. Person bobs head, smiles subtly. Person takes a selfie with the phone. Kittens surround the person. Oh, a few people are saying do the mullet. Okay, we'll do the mullet. I think that's cool. I'm going to highlight that and create video. Let's see what happens. We're doing this real time, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's a whole. Oh, I'm seeing all these mullets. I thought, oh, everybody else is saying mullets, but it's the whole time it's just the Creator Classroom saying mullet many times. Okay, Danny, welcome to the show. Don't spam the chat with your question anymore. You'll get timed out by the mods. What about YouTube channel live chats in channel at handle show? Yeah, it's a bit of a wordy question. What about YouTube channel live chats? We were just talking about that. Somebody just asked a second ago. Here's Mark Rober getting a mullet. He's got a mullet behind his hat. I guess that's where you'd see it. It does look like he's got a mullet. It's amazing how they've created that whole sort of workshop background around him. We had nothing except for what was behind him as inspiration for that. And it's like doing a circle to show us the mullet. That makes sense. That's how you're going to show us the mullet. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that they were able to keep the hat. They're not seeing the back of the hat. It's like a 2D picture. That's the power of, and that's only with Veo 2. That's not Veo 3. That's Veo 2. That's interesting. So yeah, that's that one. Let's jump back for a second. I need to kill that. Get out of that. Get out. I'm out. Okay. Now. Okay. Oh, the comment about the chat disappeared. Obviously, there's a timeout that happened there. Now, Danny's still watching. We were just talking about that. Somebody was just asking about that a few minutes ago. Right now, we don't have any details from YouTube what that's about, but it is showing up in random live streams. Some live streams have it, some don't. Some will get it 1 week, some won't have it, some will have it all the time. Other channels will never have it all the time. They're obviously doing tests and testing that out. The end goal, one of the end goals of that is to be able to tag people on mobile, because you've been able to do it on desktop for years and years and years. And a lot of creators said, we want to be able to tag on mobile. We want to be able to tag on mobile. So this is something that they're doing to prepare for that. There's probably other reasons as well, but that's one of the reasons. So we just have to wait and see how and when they're going to roll that out properly. That was not a good mullet. Yeah. It was only Veo 2. Veo 3 would probably do a better job. Looks like 1988 all over again. I wouldn't imagine Mark Rober was even born in 88, would he? I'm not sure how old he is. I'm assuming he's in his 30s. Like, probably early 30s. Like, I know Mr. Beast is mid-20s. I know Mark Rober would probably be a little bit older. Back in the day, back in the day when it was fashionable, you know. Old country, we'll catch you later. Head into the cemetery cleanup day. Our son is laid to rest. Yeah, make it look respectful and look after the place. Yeah, absolutely. Catch up later. Looking forward to seeing everyone at Vid Summit. Yeah, absolutely. Good old Vid Summit. Kelly Plains is all for mobile tagging. I think anybody who's ever like dealt with live streaming on a mobile device would appreciate that. He's 45. Okay, so that puts him. Yeah, that puts him at yeah, he would have been born in 88. Yeah, 1980. That's right. That's right. He's only 9 years younger than me. Okay. Mark Rubert is older than I thought. All right, we're going to jump back into. Okay, where were we? Image to video. We did a demo on that. All right. Into the news again. Okay, this is just like one of those premium test features. So right now they're working on, or they're testing, or they're expanding this special AI search feature for premium users. So this is for people who are actually viewing content on YouTube and have premium. The tool highlights curated videos with AI-generated summaries for topics like shopping, travel, and local activities. It's currently available only in English, and it won't appear for every search. The experiment ends August 20, so I think we've got a few more days. After which Google may decide to roll it out globally, or if feedback is feedback supports a wider release. So just something to be aware of. And next, YouTube termination. I don't know if we talked about this the other week because I didn't have a lot of information on it. This is a screen share. A couple of things that they've sort of updated in terms of if you happen to get your channel terminated and the appeal process, and that is the following. And let me see if I can find it on the screen. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is. Okay, a couple of things that they've instituted. First, you've got if your channel gets terminated, you've got a full year to appeal. So you're not limited to like 30 days or 14 days or 90 days or anything like that. You got 12 months to appeal. So maybe you don't realize you've been terminated because you're not active. You've got a year to appeal. The other thing they've done is they've put a limit on the amount of appeals you could do for a particular termination. So if you get terminated, then you appeal and then knock you back. I haven't told you how many appeals that is, but I would say it would be rather short. It could only be one. It might be 2 or 3. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't imagine they'll let you appeal repeatedly. So you'd probably want to try and get it right the first time if you believe the termination was in error and you didn't do what they said you did. So that's the sort of new update. That was sort of announced a few weeks ago. I'm not actually going to show it on the screen. I think we sort of talked about it briefly a few weeks ago. Now we're going to go to the final and sort of the main topic of the week, because it was something that was rolling out on I think it was the 14th. Was it the 14th or the 13th? I think it was like Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And that is the Teams AI verification, which we talked about when it was announced in late July. Before we go there, though, let me just say good morning to Wallace, or good afternoon to Wallace, or good evening to wherever you might be, whatever time of day it is. Welcome. Ollie says, I've been working hard to keep my birthday and date off social media, not because of vanity, but because of security. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Okay, somebody had some buffering. All good. Let's jump into roll. Okay, so first of all, vidIQ on verification day. We call it verification day, whatever day it was, 13th or 14th this week. A YouTube AI-powered age verification is officially rolling out in the US, and it's going to impact viewers and creators. And they did a little program on it. Matt Navarra reported it this way: YouTube's AI checks go live in the US today. Under 18 accounts get team protections and limited content. So basically, they're going to try and assess what the age of each account is, so that if they believe you're under 18, they will sort of protect you. What you're watching, it will become like anything that is under not appropriate for teens under 18. I was going to say children, but it's teens under 18. Obviously, that sort of content will be blocked. So inappropriate content. So that's what the limited. It's like restricted mode. Similar sort of deal. Now, if you happen to get flagged as under 18 and you're not under 18, then you can appeal that. Then you might need to provide some information to prove that you're over 18 or 18 or over, I should say, which could include showing some sort of ID, taking a video selfie, or some sort of credit card information. I'm assuming that if you've already signed up to premium, they know that you've got a card on file. If you've ever bought a super chat, a super sticker with a credit card, that sort of indicates that you are probably over 18 or over. So there's steps in place that if they get it wrong, that you can actually appeal that. That is where the privacy concerns come in, because some people say, well, why do I need to give you ID? And the thing to keep in mind is they probably already know certain information about you, particularly if you're like monetized, like via AdSense. At least they know what bank account they're paying you in. Anybody who's already in the YouTube Partner Program and get paid, I think you have to be over 18 to be in the YouTube Partner Program. I think it's 18. I think it might vary country to country, but I think it's 18 in most places. It might be 16 in a couple of places, but I'm not sure. But if you're in your YouTube Partner Program, you're already going to be verified because you're getting paid by YouTube. Unless, of course, it's like a channel. It's you're a teen or something, and your parent guardian are, receiving that AdSense on your behalf or something like that. So it's not foolproof, but there's things that they already know about you that I don't think as many accounts are going to get flagged as what we think. And so far, it's been pretty quiet. Peggy, our good friend Peggy Colm says tomorrow. She did this earlier this week. Tomorrow, August 13. That's the date. Google starts using AI estimate to estimate whether a user is at least 18. Now, here she says Google. This is not only rolling out on YouTube, it's also rolling out on Google. On like Google, so Google search, Google apps, and different things like that. They're doing a similar thing. YouTubers on Reddit have been freaking out about the change. They certainly have, particularly in terms of YouTube. There's been a lot of boycott YouTube sort of a sentiment out there. On the 13th, we're gonna stop using YouTube. I don't think that went very well. I don't think many people did, to be honest. A voice of reason on Reddit. I haven't actually clicked that link to find out what that says. Voice of reason is not often seen on Reddit if you have ever gone and checked on Reddit. I'm gonna jump back to the main screen. All right, let's have a look what we got going on in chat. So yeah, I think so far this AI, the rollout so far has been very quiet. I think people are still kicking and fussing. I can't understand people are certainly not happy about some of the privacy concerns. Like, I think most people are okay with people not getting shown inappropriate content. If we're looking after the teens and whatnot, that sounds good. But what concerns most people that I've seen is the fact that they may have to upload ID, or that they overly fear that their viewing habits are going to put them in the teen category, even though they're over 18 or 18 or over. and I would and most of the ones I see quote sort of types of content. I'm going, no, lots of adults watch that. That's not a problem, you know. So I think people are fearing that they're either going to get flagged and so get their content, what they can view, restricted, and then they have to therefore provide that extra information and you know, that's for them, that's a privacy concern. Now I would say YouTube and Google have done it historically, have done a very good job at sort of keeping people's private data private in the sense of like hacks and leaks and different things like that. There hasn't been, Google and YouTube haven't had any of that type of stuff happen. So that there's obviously a level of security there in terms of sort of that sort of thing. Then there's this sort of general sentiment of whether people even want to give over that information, if you know what I mean. So there's sort of different levels of sentiment in terms of the whole privacy thing. All right. What is happening in the chat? Yeah, it definitely will. It'll say, hey, we've restricted your account as a teen account because of, you know, if we've got this wrong, then you need to, you know, take these actions to show that you're actually 18 or over. So I think I did see on Reddit somewhere somebody did post like an image from a screenshot that showed them the message that YouTube is giving. So yeah, so it'll be a prompt that pops up somewhere on YouTube when they're using YouTube. Okay, saying something about quality. Let me see if I'm getting any alerts. I'm getting excellent connection here, so that's good. That's good. All right. American English with Brent is in the house, but also wish I could stay, but I have way too much work to do on my channel prepping. Yeah, you gotta get the work done, don't you? Absolutely, I understand that. I'm prepping for a few releases this week. I'll watch on replay. Thanks, Doug. Not a problem. Thanks for at least stopping by and saying hi. Wallace says, watched video how to have channel under 18 full of how to thefts and why YouTube wipe out this. Interesting. It also protects minors from predators. Yeah, this is for viewers, as you're right, this is for viewers. It's not for creators. The only way creators are affected by this is if their primary audience is like teens, like under 18, or a big segment of their audience is teens under 18, so that they would, because they would get served more generalized ads, non-personalized ads, then like the CPM for those type of ads are way lower, so they would like see a hit on their revenue. That's probably the main thing that might be happening. Or if you're making adult content and it was sort of like something that probably older teens might be okay to watch and maybe were watching, but now they've been like blocked off from watching that, so you might see like a slight drop in views. But generally, I think if you're making adult content, you don't want to be seen to have a lot of minors watching your content. You want it to go to the appropriate age people anyway, and not just be concerned with views, but be concerned with that YouTube showing it to the right people. The Beanie says Facebook has had so many data. Yeah, Facebook's had some concerns. Cambridge Analytics, anybody? And Vic Roads, which is the Department of Transport in Victoria, had thousands of millions of driver's licenses, IDs leaked. Wow, I think I heard about that at some point when that happened. We've had a few big company leaks in Australia. Like one of the big telcos had one. Some banks. Was it banks or was it something else? Yeah, in this case, it's a government department. That's crazy. All right, what else we got? Kelly Plain says, I don't watch too much Mr. Beast, guys. I don't watch him. You know what? He gets a lot of older, like 20s, 30s watching his content. You'd be surprised. Obviously, there's a lot of probably teens watching it. I think he's too old for children. But yeah, definitely teens, 20s, 30s. So he'd have a bit of a cross-section. But I don't think watching Mr. Beast is going to get you flagged as being a teen. I think you're good. Neil Mohan, CAO YouTube, knows me from comments about why I don't have a channel. Oh, that's right. Neil Mohan does have his own channel. That's something that I haven't seen him post for a while. Occasionally he posts important stuff like as a community post, the occasional video, interesting stuff. People usually say, don't be so worried until your own ID is in the breach league. Yeah, that's pretty tough. There's a lot of responsibility now on private companies to look after people's data at different levels, but generally, particularly, people don't want like personal like ID information, like birth dates, contact details, where you live, you know, for all the whole doxing and getting scanned. People certainly don't want their credit card details or other banking details leaked, because that people could possibly access their finances. So there's like really serious degrees of leaks, and then there's a more general where it's stuff that gets out, like generally anyway, where like if you give your name and your email address on a mailing list and that gets shared with, you know, out as mailing lists and sold as data, and so you start getting emails from this, that, and the other company that you haven't signed up for to be on their mailing list, and they start sending you stuff, and then you got to start signing up for with companies like Incogni and Delete Me to get your personal data swept off the web, and then it gets leaked, and then it gets like sold off again by other people or by the same people, and then you got to do it again, and then you don't do it again. It's like a vicious cycle. It sort of made me wonder, just as a side note, whether that whole sort of getting your data removed from these weird, wonderful websites that might have your data, or companies that might have your data, whether that in itself is part of the scam. It's like, get it removed and get it, and then get it, and then it just gets out there again, and then you got to pay them for another month to get it removed. You got to pay them for another month to get it removed. It's like it's a subscription that's ongoing. It's not like one time we've cleared out your data off the internet. It's never totally gone. It's always something out there, and then it gets out and gets shared, gets sold on. It's big money, big business. Unfortunately, so you know that's just like the conspiracy theory side of it for me. I think because we're all creators, we automatically think for creators when it's viewer updates. Yeah, that one is a viewer update. That does have like knock-on effects for creators in terms of some of those monetary issues with revenue, CPMs, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, if you've got any questions, make sure you drop them in the chat so we can talk about them, see what's going on. Where are we? We've just gone an hour and 4 minutes since we started the stream. The floor is yours. If you have a question or anything you want to comment, just drop it in the chat. If it's a question for me, put a Q in front of it for sure, so I can see that, so I can pull it up, address it, talk about it. Or you got any other topics around YouTube content creation you want to talk about? Drop it in the chat as well, so that we can get that all happening. And while we do that and reset, let's go and give a bit of a shout out to our current channel members. As before, the gifted memberships that came in today. So let's give a shout out to the current members. Hang on, let me click on the right one. There we go. And channel members, we've got as always, our Hewson YT Max members, Ocean TV, Home Rapid Repair, and Eileen Smith. And our list of regular Hewson YT members on screen. I'm not going to read them all out right now. But I want to thank you so much for being a member, whether you've been gifted or whether you've signed up and you're a regular member every month. Appreciate you. Let me know if there's anything particular you want in terms of your perks. One thing to remember is for all members, I believe you have access. If you're a member, you can DM me anytime on X or Messenger, I think. So you can do that. You can, obviously X is probably a good place because I'm there and I'm pretty active. Or, you know, if you are on Facebook, you can use Messenger as well. So you can reach out to me anytime if you've got a question for me that's anything to do with the stuff we talk about on the channel. I'm happy to chit chat, answer questions, and do all that via DMs if you're a member in particular. Although even non-members reach out from time to time and ask questions. So, you know, I help where I can. But I'll definitely, if you're a member, I'll definitely just say, try and jump in as quickly as possible. Try and do it as promptly as possible. And just as a reminder, today, there's no Niven Live today. Coming up at not 11 p.m., but 1 p.m., that's a typo, Eastern today, on the Opus Clip channel, Andrew Can and Roberto Blake are going live. Now, what they're actually talking about, I didn't put it on there, but let me tell you. If I can. I just realized I was still in the back end of my channel. Yeah, now I've got to find it. Looking for the thumbnail. Here it is. The title of the stream there today is Make Money on YouTube Shorts with AI. Live Q&A with Opus Clip and Roberto Blake. And representing on behalf of Opus Clip, Andrew Can will be talking with Roberto. That should be a good time. You know, Andrew and Roberto always do great streams. So that is something that you should be checking in with later today if you are able. So 1 p.m. Eastern. And also tomorrow, Sunday, Chantel's not having a show because she's at camp. She'll be coming back from camp and won't be prepared to get up Monday morning and do a show. So no show from Chantel this week, Monday morning. And of course, I'll be back at my regular time slot next week, 7:30 a.m. Eastern for YouTube Creator News as always. So just to recap here in the middle of the show. All right, let's jump back into the chat. Beatty says, I don't mind giving my ID when it's needed. Yeah, definitely. But I'm skeptical of how serious companies take their customers' private security. They don't care until it's too late. Yeah, like for me, driver's license, like ID, whatever sort of ID you have, or even passport. Law enforcement, of course. If I get pulled over and asked to see my license, that's part of the course. You can show them your license. It's like, who else are you going to show your license to? You know, that's one of the reasons to show that you're licensed to drive a car. So there it is. Obviously, you need certain ID to get bank accounts in the financial sector and that. So it makes sense that you have to show your ID for those sorts of things. Certainly, when you travel, you need ID. So if you're like domestic, then your driver's license is usually typical. And then if you're traveling overseas, passport is mandatory. So there's that ID, but that's the purpose of those documents. Particularly the passport is the purpose of traveling. So there it is. So make sure that it's ready to go and ready to. And then governments all over the world are going to have access to that passport information. Is in a central database that all governments access. So for immigration purposes. So when you cross borders, you put it in the machine now. Sometimes you don't even talk to people depending on what country you're going to. You put it in the thing and they scan it, and then it records that you're entering the country. Takes some biometrics to make sure it's you that is holding that passport and matches the biometrics in your. It's very advanced. So there's that sort of thing. This is the logical reason why you would show that type of ID. There are probably some other things where you would either need like multiple pieces of ID to access something. Usually it's government related. Signing up for government program stuff, you might show driver's license or passport or something like that proves who you are, and all that sort of stuff makes sense. And so obviously the question is, does YouTube need that information? the way that they present it is that they don't really want to take your information. They don't want to hold your information. They don't want to do anything with your information. They just need it to verify. And obviously, we know that in some places like the UK, here in Australia, it's going to be happening soon, and other countries where it's already implemented, where they need to have a proof of age. This US one's a little bit more casual. They're doing this preemptively. Obviously, in the UK, there's already stuff in place. Here in Australia, that whole thing kicks in December. The shocking thing about the Australian one is, yeah, you'll have to prove age to show that you're over 16, I believe it is in Australia. But if you're under 16, you're not even allowed to have a social media account at all. So I don't know how they handle people who these minors already have social media accounts. Because once they do the thing, they can't prove that they're the right age. Are YouTube required to terminate those accounts? Are we going to get mass terminations? Because in Australia, at least for Australian users, how does that work? What if you do it and you're in a different country? What if you say that I'm not in Australia, I'm in New Zealand, or I'm in Canada, or I'm somewhere that I'm not really? I don't know. And all the onus of all these new laws is on these platforms like YouTube to enforce. And there's maybe some limited tools that they might be given. I don't know what the tools are here in Australia, whether they're something that YouTube have to implement into their systems, or whether they just have to wing it to be compliant with the new laws. I really don't know how that works. And it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let me jump back into the chat. That was a bit of a rant off one comment from Beanie. Wallace says, my identity is my images, which at one time getting hired to do. Yeah. Terrifying to me personally, reading from professional photographers, people stealing from websites and social media. Yeah, that whole intellectual property thing is a whole thing as well. Absolutely. And good morning to Tube Spanner. Danielle, I like to say hello, good morning, or good afternoon to you at this point. What else? Where am I? Where am I in the chat? Kelly Plains, if I was a viewer and I was asked to show my ID, I would just move to the next app. But that's just me. Yeah. And that's, that's a personal preference that it's like with any sites, like, do we want to jump through the hoops? Is it worth us jumping through hoops? Are we willing to jump through the hoops? Sometimes we're not willing to jump through the hoops, so we don't jump through the hoops. So yeah, in some places that's going to be a few people might have to jump through some hoops if they are determined to remain on the platform or have access to certain things on the platform. Google paying out multi-million payout is like lunch money for you and me. Okay, yeah. Stanley Orchard is here as well. Best way to start off a Saturday morning. Well, second best, because Nick and Dee, they do a pretty stellar job for 3 hours every Saturday, don't they? And here I am. It's well into their time slot. Well into their time slot. Say hi to people. Beanie says Twitter would retroactively terminate accounts of adults that signed up when they were teens and lied about their age. Yeah, some platforms will go like overkill on some stuff. We know Facebook have all sorts of problems with either over compliance or under compliance. They don't like to sort of do things by the book. They tend to either overreach or underreach, which is a little crazy. tomorrow YouTube will have 2030. That we're gonna be testing these handles in chat for the next 6 years. Or 5 years. 5 years. I don't even know what year it is. I'm like, no, it's not 2024, it's 2025. Good. Yeah, got any questions? Drop them in the chat. Is there anything that's coming up this week that I haven't thought about? Yeah, just trying to get back in the flow. Like, let's talk about this for a minute. Like being able to make content, coming up with video ideas, ideation. We know ideation is pretty important now. I feel like I'm doing a lot of ideating right now, but I'm not doing a lot of executing, which means either filming, and if I filmed it, I'm like, getting the editing done. Like if I can get through those two things, it's at the point where I can upload it and it's done. I can do all the things like the thumbnails and the titles if I haven't got them done already. Sometimes I jump in and get inspiration during the filming or the editing and get the thumbnails done. Sometimes even earlier than that, but quite often it's sort of towards the end of that. It just depends on where I'm at in the research and ideation process. Sometimes that involves thumbnail ideas and at least having like sort of some concepts for different types of thumbnails and maybe different titles as well. I always ideate a bunch of titles for videos, a bunch of thumbnails for videos, make sure that I've got minimum of 3 thumbnails. I always have a bunch, usually have more. I usually end up about 5. Sometimes I'll rotate them. Sometimes I'll just do a test to do it to a 3-way test, different things like that. But yeah, right now I'm at the sort of my point is that I've got a lot of ideation going on, but I've not got a lot of actually getting the filming done. Like I've scripted a bunch of videos, and I may not make any of them at this point. There's some in there that's in the works. Like I talked about that leaderboard one earlier. That's an interesting one. That's not timely news, but it's just more of a FY, more of a like a look behind the scenes of how this leaderboard thing works. I was going to make one about the AI teen thing, but I didn't really like the direction it was going based on the information. And I was doing a bit of research on why people were like really getting upset, just to get like into the like what is the crux of why they're not happy about it. Why are there people out there wanting to boycott YouTube this week? And I sort of looked into that. I sort of feels a little bit off for the type of stuff I normally do on my channel. So I didn't know it might pull a lot of views because it's like leaning into the drama without being dramatic. It was sort of just touching on that information. Already talking about some controversial features already attract like comments where people are like hating on something that YouTube rolls out. And, I can respect people's opinions on that, but, when people sort of get the negative on a continual basis in the comment section, that can sort of get you down a little bit in terms of being positive. You sort of feel your positivity getting pulled down. It's like quicksand. So sometimes it's dealing with that. So it's like, do I want to make content knowing that I might get more of that type of content, comments in my chat? So, it's like it's weighing up what topic is actually going to be good, A, to resonate with the audience or something people are going to be interested in, and B, these ear things start to tickle. They tickle and they hit like a nerve. That's really weird. Just going to try and adjust it there. So yeah, all those things. So yeah. That's sort of where I'm at with my content creation at the moment. I'm trying to like work on the research more, because traditionally I might be like, I know the basic idea, or I'm doing a walkthrough, so I'm just winging it, explaining stuff as I go. If I'm doing like a tutorial, but if I'm not doing a tutorial, I'm talking about something else, I might like script it a little bit more. So I'm either, well, if I'm working with a script, then I need to like work with a teleprompter, and that's like a bottleneck for me, because this is my teleprompter here. If I'm making a video somewhere else, if I'm filming somewhere else, I don't have an easy way to teleprompt, as then I have to figure out how to wing it, which is sort of like my video on the collab feature. It was more or less scripted. I turned it into bullet points as much as possible, and then I had to like wing it the rest of the way and try and make sure I hit all the points. So you know, that's sort of the creation process. Let's jump back in. I think there might be some questions here. Danny's back. I asked that handles show all live stream channels chats when that's featured. When's that feature come? We don't have an ETA. YouTube haven't told us anything about it. It's just shown up. They've not commented on it. I've talked about it. I made a video about it back when it first happened. I see it in random streams. I'm not seeing as many streams that I visit as much as I did when they first started sort of putting it out there and testing it. At one point, it looked like most people. I've never had it on any of my streams. So it's one of those things. It's very random. So it's just in that testing phase for me, I believe, right now. So ETA, it could be later this year, could be next year, it could be next week. Who knows? But I think it's going to be a little ways away. I think we get a lot of feature rollouts coming out of the northern summer. So coming up very soon, sort of starting maybe August, September, and in through October, they start to roll out a lot of features. We know that probably around September, they're going to be doing another Made on YouTube. So there's going to be a lot more talking about things that are coming up in 2026, maybe late 2025. There's some stuff that they announced last year that sort of has been released, some stuff that's partial release, some stuff that's sort of half-baked, some stuff they haven't done at all. So all that's coming out. So in response to that question is, we really don't know, because YouTube have told us very little about what they're doing there. There's been no announcements on Creator Insider, no dedicated videos, no community posts, no tweets, no posts. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine when it comes to are they going to, if and when they're going to roll out handles to all live streams. Paula says, don't get hooked on my friend's negative comments. Think about nice ones. Absolutely. I'm all about the positivity. Yeah, that's the link to the video on handles that I did a little while ago. That is in the chat. Let me just bring that back up there. Doug took a moment to hydrate. Yeah, I don't know if those check commands work when they're in a sentence. Did it come up? I didn't notice it came up. Maybe it was when I looked away that it came up. So, is there anything I haven't talked about yet that I was supposed to talk about? Yes. Pinned to the top of the chat this week, I dropped the link to the merch store because it's currently 20% off until Sunday, which is what, 17th of August. So if you're interested in checking out the merch, like the I Love Live Streaming mug. Now these are on shirts and stuff as well. The double Doug there, of course, and then you got your stickers. Then and make sure you check that out. The link is in that pinned comment. So you know, I could drop that, or I could even, just to reinforce what that's all about, I could just pull that up there that tells us. Oh, and my BMAC alerts page is just sitting over top of that. 20% off everything until August 17th. So it doesn't matter what you buy, whether it's stickers, mugs, t-shirts, whatever's on there. It's also on the on the channel in the merch tab, or the store tab. Yeah, it used to be called merchandise or something. It's now shop or store. It's one of the two. So yeah, there you go. And let's click that. All right. So yeah, we did a bit of a spruce up this week. The comments. Let me know if that comments is too small, because I did reduce it down to sort of like. Let me click click on this one from the Artist Haven. He's joined the stream. Good to see you. Good morning, y'all. I thought I was up super early until I saw extended show. Howdy, Doug. Great to see you. Good to see you. Now this is sort of the smaller formatting of the comments. Is that too small? Like I see some streams that have them really small because they don't want like overpowering the stream because it's the visuals. They'll like. So I dropped it down a bit. The other thing I did is I moved the YouTube Creator News logo to the top corner, made it smaller, sort of fit it in with the Creator Mix stuff. Also slightly reduced the size of the BMAC QR codes. Hopefully that still works okay. And what else do we do? Oh, there's a new overlay, which is why that Buy Me a Coffee link is sort of like glowing in the bottom there. Because if anybody drops a coffee, there's a new sort of alert that pops up because they Buy Me a Coffee this week upgraded their alert system. So now it does like a Streamlabs style alert. It even has the message that comes up on the screen, how much was tipped, who tipped it, all that stuff. So that's why this thing's in the bottom, because it always stays on the screen. And for me to use it, that has to stay on the screen, or I can resize it so it goes off the screen. It's one of the things. I think they used to have a shorter, smaller logo at the bottom that was promoting. This one's more of the link, which it sort of looks nice. So I thought I'd bring it in and then just move everything around and sort of streamline things a bit. That's like a little catch up on streaming things. Oh, wrong one. The Shark Scrapper is in the house. Good evening. Good to see you. Well, Wallace is happy with the comments. It's good to know. Comments are finally on PC. Yeah. And obviously people are seeing the comments in their chat, in their respective chats as well. So this is just more of a highlights. Maybe more for the replay, really, or bring context of what we're talking about. I'm talking about this particular comment right now. Larry is here, and let's drop that one. Thank you for the super chat. A $10 super chat. Thank you for that. It says, before Rene Ritchie, did YouTube have a creator liaison? Yes. His name was Matt Koval. He's got a YouTube channel now. He's now like a YouTube coach. He has a very specific niche that he coaches, which I think is businesses. I heard him on a podcast recently, but he was the one that started that role. He was the first one in that role. Renee's the second one in that role. So he had to sort of, Matt Koval had to pioneer that, had to come up with like, what does a YouTube creator liaison do, and what's their responsibilities? And obviously that changes over time. And, you know, Renee's probably doing as a different style to Matt and different things. But yes, Renee is the second. And I believe when Matt was leaving and they were putting that out saying, hey, we're looking for a new creator liaison, I think Mr. Beast put his hand up for it too. But Renee got it. And I believe Matt said, if I recall hearing the interview correctly, that Matt actually recommended Renee for the job. So that's pretty cool. Michael says that the chats are good on his end. Yes. Craig Oliver says, I'm prepared trying to be number one. Oh, let's have a look there. Oh, you know, he could have just stayed on that 550 or whatever he was at before, but 1100 XP. Second place is Creator Classroom at 150 XP just from commenting. Because there is some things, like I'm probably going to make that video at some point. I'm going to collect some more data on that. I have been doing some research. I have a pretty good idea already on that. So yeah, it's sort of more of a fun video, the leaderboard one. Sort of breaking down how it all works. And not that YouTube has told us, just that, you know, people working stuff out, doing testing. Yeah. All right. You know what? I think it's time we drop this. I think it's time we go.
It's the last call.
It's the last call, which means that, you know, we're heading to the tail end of the stream. But if you've got any more questions or comments you'd like to make, this is the last chance to drop them in the chat. So what we like to do here. And that means, you know, we'll go as longer as we've got something to talk about, or we've got a question, or something else happens there. But yeah, it's the last call, y'all. Let's drop that in. There we go. Some contests, though, feel more mod in nature, not trying because I'm trying to win. Oh, definitely. And you know, anybody who's active is going to end up as a similar amount in the leaderboard. That's usually how it works. In terms of leaderboard, that, you know, you could be commenting all the time, but it's going to throttle like the XP. It's not going to be just every time you chat, it's going to give you 25. It's not going to do that. It's time. There's a time basis on it. How often you chat, so it's not rewarding people spamming the chat. But it somewhat does reward people for staying in the chat and participating and watching the stream for an extended period of time. Because once you get sometimes you can comment, and the XP will just not go up at all, and then a little while later it'll start climbing again for a few, and then it might stall again and it'll start climbing again. So there's a time factor on that. But to overcome that, the super chats do get rocketed, and it appears, I think somebody mentioned, Larry mentioned himself. He's doing the testing here right now. It seems that at least your $10 super chats are getting 500 XP each time. That's what it appears to be, and I would concur with sort of that general idea. One thing I haven't looked at, which I'm probably will at some point, and that sort of stuff I can observe on live streams when I'm sort of sitting in a live stream for an extended period, and if I open up the leaderboard and watch it go over, if I like pay attention to that, which, you know, has to be sort of like a deliberate thing. My whole back end just crashed, my stream, so let's need to get back in there. Okay, oh no, that reset pretty quick. Yeah, so they were $10 super chats each time. So each time they went up by about 500. That makes sense. So does like a $5 super chat get you 500? Does that give you like 250? Does a $20 super chat give you 1,000? You know, these are the things we have to work out. I can figure that out by observing a little while. I just haven't done enough observing yet. That's not an invitation. I'm not sort of soliciting super chats to test, but. That was just sort of walking through the thought process. What do we got going here? The Spanish world. Oh, my goodness, Larry. Oh. XP test.
Thank you for the super chat.
Dropped to 20. Oh, I gotta flip back to the leaderboard. What did that go up to? Yeah, that went up by 1,000. That went up by 1,000 by my recollection. So the amount is a factor, and that was a good guess. I said, well, if 10 is 500, 20 would be roughly 1,000. So my theory is panning out just based on that. Yeah, because I was on about 1,100. So yeah, it jumped 1,000 to 2,100. There we go. Okay, there are questions here. Let's jump on the Artist Havens question here. Anyone using Meld to stream? I've been using it in the last few weeks, and so far I like it, but I'm pretty basic right now. Yeah, I want to dabble more. I've played around with it a little bit. So. Sorry, I just got distracted by the chat for a second. Yeah, so I've dabbled with it a bit. I haven't live streamed with it yet. I've just been trying to, like, let's see how I can set things up. How good is it? Like, I'm using Ecamm right now. I'm on a Mac. Meld works pretty good on Mac. They actually build Meld on a Mac. They actually write the code on a Mac. So Meld is made on a Mac. Obviously, they're making Windows and Linux as well. So it looks. So yeah, I'm happy to test it a bit more. I know D Nimmon's testing Meld at the moment on his Twitch streams, and they seem to be going good. Like I tuned in a few weeks ago on one of his streams. I think he went live a little bit after one of. I think it was a Saturday, later on a Saturday, when he was after Nick and D stream, and he jumped on Twitch and did some music stuff, and it looked and sounded pretty good. So and he was able to do what he needed to do to sort of test the stream in terms of doing a music stream. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a little bit of time to play around with it. And if I get it set up well enough, I might even run it as a test on a Saturday show at some point as well. Larry says $15 was still a yellow, so I had to go orange. So yeah, so 20. Yeah, that makes sense. So yellow super chat's 500, orange super chat's 1,000. Yeah, it makes sense to go by the color levels. I get you. Will let Daniel Batal test the big bucks? Paging Daniel Batal. Sure, I can do that. Hang on. There it is. Paging Daniel Batal. Paging. Daniel Batal, checkout 5. That on the right page. All right. Park Bro says, I'd love to see more tests for Meld. Yeah. Meld's getting a lot of what's it called? A lot of promotion, a lot of eyeballs on it, a lot of big streamers like Nutty and different people talking about Meld. Senpai Games, what's his name? Paracella. Well, that's Spanish World. Welcome. If I didn't say welcome before, did I say welcome before? I'm thinking about getting a Mac. Any recommendations? What would be a good Mac for editing and YouTube? Okay, there's two ways I'd go. If you want to travel with one, then you'd be looking at like a MacBook Pro, maybe a beefed up MacBook Air. Obviously, you pay a little bit more for that. If you're going to be mainly desk based, then a Mac like an M4 Mac Mini, you don't have to go much above the base model. It's going to be more than enough for editing. Maybe sort of up the RAM a little bit on a Mac Mini, or certainly a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro if you're going to use anything other than, say, Final Cut Pro to edit. So if you're going to use Premiere, you definitely need more RAM. I think DaVinci Resolve as well. So you can go like the base model, but beef up the RAM a little bit, particularly if it's a Mac Mini. And then Mac Mini is a very small form factor. But then you'll need like Mac Mini, you can just plug into monitor and away you go. Monitor, keyboard, mouse, and away you go. So you buy like the box, and you'll have to BYO monitor. Of course, with a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, it's a laptop, so you can travel with it. So if you're traveling, you could look at like the base mid-level models, maybe just up the RAM a bit in terms of editing, and maybe even storage if you're not willing to, say, cart around like an SSD, something that you can plug for additional storage. Like I edit off SSDs. Like I've got 2 Samsungs like just sitting on the desk here now. I've got like regular spinning hard drives for more longer term storage, but if I'm editing, I'll edit off an SSD. I've actually got 3 here right now. They're all hooked in, so I can't pick them up. I've got one taped to the back of my monitor here. That's just like a 250 gig. I got a 500 gig and a terabyte, and then I've got another one that I keep on my MacBook. It's another 500 gig. Yeah, I've got 2 500 gigs and a terabyte. I do have a SSD that I'm waiting to get an M.2 stick to put inside. It's like an enclosure, and I'm looking to make that like a 2 terabyte drive, so that I can like edit larger projects on it. That's the way I go, rather than upgrading like the internal storage, because Apple's internal storage is very expensive. So I usually go with like the base model storage and then use external storage because better value for the same amount of space. That's the way I go. All right, where were we? Lost, can't lose her. They've been making a lot of updates in the last week. I'm curious to see if they brought in comments or something I'll use once I get my Stream Deck out of storage. Yeah, yeah, because I think right now, yeah, I'm not sure where they're at with comments. I don't know if they've got the highlighting individual comments. I know that you can bring in like a gamer style, comment stream where it just like scrolls. So yeah, that I'm not sure. I haven't dived in enough to know that. I know you can do vertical and horizontal streams. You can dual stream same time. So that's cool if you want to do like vertical and horizontal on YouTube or TikTok or I think Instagram did something weird with their vertical streams. I can't remember what they're doing. I'm still trying to figure out how to do 2 instances of YouTube and not screw things up. Yeah. On Meld, I'm not sure. That's a good question. You'd have 2 destinations. Yeah. I don't remember if D covered it on his, because I think he just sort of like brushed over the being able to do the verticals and horizontal at the same time. I did see it on somebody's tutorial where they actually stepped through how to link YouTube to each one. Obviously you need to go, I've got 2 streams set up. One's going to be my vertical, one's going to be my horizontal. I need to link the horizontal to the horizontal, the vertical to the vertical. Or Nick Nemon once he said, yes, that was when he was on his trip to the UK. I remember that. That was last year. I think it was like April, May last year. You Daniel? Oh my goodness. That's funny. That is funny. Michael Zahosky says, could you use audio from a YouTube video for an audio stream? Technically you could. Like if it was something that you obviously had permission to use, or it was your own content, yeah, you could certainly sort of stream just the audio or use the audio if you had the right permissions. Like if it was like somebody else's content, then you'd like want to get their permission to like do something with that, whether you're editing that into another video, or whether you're broadcasting that in some way, making a podcast, different things that you could do with audio. But yeah, technically it's, yeah, you could easily do that. That's super easy to do. Absolutely. From PC you can do that easily. I've done it Streamlabs, OBS. Yeah, I've actually done it in OBS with the ATEM vertical plugin. When we were testing the whole YouTube doing vertical streams now, we're using that as a way to stream both at the same time. Yeah. I love external SSDs. I got a few of them. I have a few. Okay, trying to a bit of back and forth. I don't want to highlight everybody's comments. Shaftskipper says I use external storage to retain my raw and processed files. I rarely need to go back to recover any of it, but can't stand the idea of not having available. Yeah, I have like a process I step through. When I'm editing, I have like an SSD specifically for editing, or I have maybe 2. So it might be editing on my laptop, or it could be editing here. And so I'll edit. Once the project's done, I archive it. Basically try and get everything into the folder, the original folder, so including the thumbnails and the final exported file, just so I've got a copy of it. After I've uploaded it to YouTube, I'll export it. Then I'll move it to one of my sort of spinning hard drives that has more space. And it will sit there for a while until I move it to a larger archive drive a little bit later. So every few months, maybe 3 or 6 months, all the projects that I've finished in that period will get moved from that to the sort of more archive storage. And so I have them all sitting on this hard drive. I've had different hard drives that I've used. I don't back up to the cloud because I don't have the I haven't paid for any sort of storage or anything like that on the cloud. Although I do now have 2 terabytes on my Google Drive, because I signed up. Because as a perk, one of the perks of signing up for Gemini AI, you get, Google gives you all this extra stuff, like 2 terabytes of storage is some of it. And like it's like it costs a couple of dollars more than the Chat GPT, but then I also get 2 terabytes of storage. It's like, I'll take storage and I'll take Gemini, and then I'd sign up for it, and then they put out more Gemini features, more stuff that you can do, including remembering conversations. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Oh, Sage. Yes, Sage. Good morning. Thank you for the membership. Yes, I believe, thank Callie Plains dropped 5 gifted memberships early in the stream, and you were one of them. YouTube hand them out, and you received. So yeah, enjoy. There's some extra members content, members videos on there, a couple of members shorts, members posts. The one thing I should mention to members too, this is interesting, is I did a few weeks ago in community posts, members posts, I did drop the code and links to a couple of my free PDF guides. Well, they actually paid PDF guides, but I provide it to members for free, so that you got the code there to go and claim it for free instead of paying the $5 or $10, whatever it is that are on them. This depends which one it is. So I've got 2 up there at the moment, which I'm going to sort of make available to everybody in terms of the paid versions via my Buy Me a Coffee page. So I'll be linking those up at some point. One is on what to do if your account gets terminated by YouTube. That's one of them. It's like a PDF guidance that steps you through what you need to do to hopefully get that resolved. And the other one is if you get demonetized from the YouTube Partner Program, get removed for, in particular, reuse content, but anything that like that you would have, that would request you to do a video appeal. Then it walks through not only what you need to do, also tells you how to do video appeal, and even provides a sample script for your video appeal so that you can put in what needs to be put in there so that it complies with their rules for video appeal, because they have rules, and if you don't meet the requirements that they lay out, like not go over a certain length and show the link to your channel on screen at a certain point, different things that you need to include in that video for them to accept it and then look at it and then decide whether they're going to remonetize your channel or not. So that's the other guide, and I think that's the one that has a lot more in it in terms of information and the sample script that you can sort of use as a template to do all your things. And they come as basically as a PDF. So I don't have the links handy to drop that in there. Yes, Kelly Plain says the video appeal has to be very detailed. It follows on from basically the video that I made, and Kelly Plains, of course, was my case study, because we did some things and were able to communicate what he needed to do the video appeal. Did that, got this channel remonetized, which I'm very happy about. And so some of these PDF guides are based on stuff that I've learned along the way. Sometimes they're based on, like, that would be an ideal companion video to talk about that. If I ever remake that reuse content, then I'll be sort of promoting it directly. So, hey, I've got this PDF guide. So I'm starting to go in that direction to create some extra content. Sometimes it'll be content for members. Sometimes it'll be content, of course, I want to roll out as guides that people can get a hold of, purchase. I don't make them expensive or anything like that. They can download them and look at them and keep them handy. Sometimes you might need them because that thing's just happened to you, or it might be good to keep for a rainy day, I suppose. I've got this PDF guide, and my goal is that if anything changes on that, like if YouTube changed something, that I'll go and update that PDF so then it would be newly downloadable, and then I should know who's like downloaded it, because I get a notification from Buy Me a Coffee every time somebody does a download. So I should know who's downloaded. So if it ever gets updated, I can let them know that it's been updated to go and download a fresh version of that. Or I can maybe send it to them. I'm not sure. I haven't worked that part out yet. So yeah, that's something that I've been working on and haven't really talked about on the live stream before. But what I'm interested in is if there's any other sort of guides around YouTube that you think would be good to be made or might be useful to creators. So I'm looking for those sorts of ideas so I can provide more guides in that manner. That would be something that I'd be looking at. Lee says, thanks for the great stream on the channel. See you all on the next stream. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Eileen's going to head out, but we'll still be listening in the car. No worries. We should be wrapping up soon. We've had the last call up there for a while. Yes, Doug helped me and another streamer by helping me. Yeah, that's right. That's right. There was one of the other aviation streamers that you were able to pass that information on. Like once you know it, then you can like, hey, this is what I did. This worked, and so that's great. I'm very happy that people get help with that. Frankie's in the house, coming in late today. It is late. What is it? Oh, it's not late. Not as late for you as it is for me. Gonna get some food. Have great. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. Promo snap happened. Hey, yeah, it happened to my back end earlier. My back end did it. Doesn't normally do it, but it did it today. I'm still on the leaderboard there. Let me just move all that around. Yeah, any last... Oh, this is where I heart... Oh, this is where I've never been... Because I never have this screen open. Where I can heart the super chats. You can, as a creator, you can heart them. And I've always forget that that's something you can do. And it's not in the general chat in the back end. It's in the viewer activity tab. And then I have to go over and there's like a little... It's like when you heart a comment in your comment section. I just figured it out. Thank you for that. Hey, it's you do it. Here he is. Good morning from the Jersey Shore. How is it? What time is it over there now? That's like mid-morning now, late morning. Shark Scrapper's out. Have a great week, you all. Stay safe. Yeah, we're winding down. We've had the last call for a while, but we're winding down finally. Had a couple of things in the end there we talked about, like the meld and the PDF guides. But yeah, I'll do it like a proper launch on the PDF guides. I think I might have already put it in my community feed. It's either that or I'm just remembering doing the members one. But yeah, I'll probably drop that more formally. I'm wanting to put together a few more as well. So I've got 2 for now. I was trying to figure out the hosting and everything else with those PDF guides. So I ended up putting them on Buy Me a Coffee because I was going to put them on one of the ones that link to YouTube, Spring. But they weren't, like, I put them on there and they weren't showing up on YouTube after the amount of time you're supposed to wait. In fact, none of the merch was sort of showing up. It's like the link wasn't working. I unlinked it and relinked it, still not working. I'm like, I'm just going to put it on Buy Me a Coffee. And then Buy Me a Coffee, just take the processing fees and stuff. If I do it on the other place, they take a cut. You know, even if it's a digital download, but they're still hosting it. You know, they're hosting it and everything. They take a bigger cut. So, you know, that's how it happens. Little Crafty Nook's in the house. Welcome. We're in the wind down section. We're on the last call of the show. Michael Zahoski's out of here. Have to run. Good to have you hang in the chat tonight, Michael, or today, this morning. Love it. Love it. All right. Yeah. I have a question. Absolutely. This is the last call for questions. This is an extended last call because it's an extended show. So. We don't have a hard out today. But before we go, we will talk about, actually, well, the Crafty Nooks forming the question. I'm just going to drop that last call off the screen. We're going to jump back and just remind people what's happening here. Let's take that buy me a coffee off there. Coming up today, of course, there's no Niman live today, as we've already established. That's why I'm live now. Opus Clip is live at 1 p.m. Eastern today, so in a few hours from now. What's that now? Hour and a half was, 2.5 hours from now. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, not 11. It says 11 there, but it's supposed to be 1 p.m. Typo on my behalf. On the Opus Clip channel, Andrew Can and Roberto Blake will be going live talking about how to make money on shorts. So this should be an interesting show. If I can stay up that long, I'll probably try and catch the start of it at least. All right, let's go find that question. We'll leave that up so people can peruse that. Of course, Chantel is not going live on tomorrow, Sunday night, because she's at camp. My phone camera went into slow mode again during my recording. I didn't bump the phone or anything. It has done this before out of the blue. Help. Oh, slow mode. That's like where it records like a slow-mo. It slows down the footage. So when you play it back, it's slow. That's interesting. Ooh, is it iPhone or is it like an Android phone? I have to say, as a side note, my Pixel 7 won't charge, so I got to get that looked at. So now at the moment I don't have access to an Android phone to do tutorials and stuff. So I need to get that where I need to go see what I can do about that. I have to take it somewhere. I've done all the troubleshooting that I can do, and it's just I think I ran out of battery, and then when I put it on charge, it's just not charging. So it's fine when I started. iPhone, yeah, that's a bit weird. Okay, iPhone. You know what we can do about that? Have a look. iPhone. Okay, I'm assuming you're just using the default phone app, the camera app, which is this. And obviously I'm in default photo mode, and to change your modes, let's see where slow-mo is, because video, usually if you're filming video, you're going to do it on video. You have to go past cinematic to get the slow-mo. It might vary depending on which phone you have. This is a 15 Pro Max. But to get the slow-mo, it's like two places. But I can see that if you're touching anything on the screen, you could possibly bump it. Like I've had it move on me, trying to like change the setting or something, and I'll like bump it. Or if I swipe and it swipes that like that way instead of like I might be trying to swipe something. Yeah, look at that. That's on video. I'm swiping on the screen up in the middle there where that sort of line is there, where the green thing is in the bottom corner of the monitor. I just did a swipe and it went straight to cinematic. So if I swipe twice, and now I'm on slow mode. Now, if that's happening while it's recording, I don't know if that does it. Let's try recording here. What I could do, I could just turn it facing me. That'd be a bit easier. Okay, so you won't see where my finger's going still. I'm going to hit record on that. Let's see if swiping does anything. Or maybe just before you've gone live, you've gone hit record, it's swiped. So I can't, once it's recording, it's not swiping, so I can't change the mode. So it must be happening right before you've hit record and not realize that you've gone to slow mode. That would be what my suggestion is. You might have been like swiping something on the screen here. You end up in the slow mode. So now we're in slow mode, and I hit that. It looks the red record button looks exactly the same as it does when you're in the regular camera mode. So I'd say that might be what's happening, as my best guess. So this is recording me in slow mode. So obviously, when I play it back, it's going to be slow. And one thing to notice is they also give you like a button just to take during the video to take stills. Not sure how that works. Stop that. And the funny thing is, see, anywhere on the screen I tap, that's moving. So I'm in spatial, I'm in panographic, I'm in spatial, I'm in portrait, I'm in photo, I'm in video, and I'm swiping halfway up the screen. I'm not swiping where the words are. So it's a bit of a funny one. I don't know why they make it that way. I think they should only allow you to swipe sort of in that bottom section where the actual settings are. And I'm swiping at the top of the screen, and it's swiping. Yeah, I'd say that's probably what's happening. That would be my only suggestion in that case. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that's probably what it is. Yeah, definitely. You sort of have to like go live early, or hit record when you know that, okay, it says video, hit record, and then make your adjustments like before you start, talking or filming or whatever you're doing. Like to be a few seconds that you just have to cut out at the start. That might be just to make sure that you're in that mode, because once you're recording, it's not going to move modes. So I think that's the win. I think that's the win on that one. Just based on what I was just doing there on my phone. Like if you have an older version of iOS, then it might behave slightly differently. But they should be generally the same back a few versions. I think it doesn't seem to be that much different from when I was using it on previous versions. So yeah, there we go. We've helped someone right at the end of the show. Yeah, let me know any final thoughts, everyone, because we're going to wrap things up. I think my mouth is really dry. I need more of those hydrations. Otherwise, soon, if I was keeping going, I'd probably have to drop an ad break so I could, step away for a moment. But we won't do that. We'll wrap the show up. So don't forget, on the Opus Clip channel at 1 p.m. Eastern today, Andrew Can, Roberto Blake on the Opus Clip channel talking all about how to make money from YouTube Shorts, which is pretty cool because we know they, from an AdSense point of view, they don't pay as much as long form. That RPM's getting better, but there are ways to make money on Shorts. So if you're interested in making money on Shorts, that's probably a good stream to jump in on. Those Opus Clip streams usually only go for like an hour. They're not super long. So it should be good. Yeah, catch up with my good pals, Andrew and Roberto. So big shout out to Andrew and Roberto. Wallace says, nice final thought here. So nice to discover a place where people care about each other. Awesome people helping Doug Hewson. Happy to discover you all. Yeah, it's a good community, good creative community. Niminati, Houstonati, all the channels, Nick and Dee and Roberto and Andrew, and people like Daniel Batal, Raji Johnson, all the crew. And I hope to get to Vid Summit this year. I'm not 100% that I'll be actually attending Vid Summit, but we'll see how that goes. Probably not at this stage. My thoughts will be there as we hit like early October and Vid Summit wraps up. So if I do get there, then I'll be happy to get reacquainted with you all, those that'll be attending. I know quite a few in this chat were at Vid Summit last year, some of you, or the year before. But if I get there, then we'll hook up, have some meals, and talk all things YouTube. Yeah, indeed. I agree. 100%. Good sentiment. Beautiful. Oh, thanks for goosebumps. Nice. All right. Well, I'll let you all go. Thank you for joining me today. A little bit longer. Not that much YouTube news. We had enough to keep us talking for a while. And maybe next week there'll be a super announcement. Who knows? I don't know. See what turns up as we head into the new week. So make sure Opus Clip 1 p.m. today Eastern. So that's coming in a few hours. And I'll catch you this time at my regular time next week. Not this time. Regular time next week. 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Pretty early, I know. And then hope we'll see Dee and Nick and Dee next week as well. So and Chantel will be back as well. The whole crew. So until meantime, I'll catch you